All right. Don't mind the ambient noise. Don't mind the ambient noise. Usually, I wouldn't be recording now, but I have been very remiss about doing anything. So we're trying to do better. It's the weekend, which means it's sock time. I did make a concrete decision to work on socks on the weekends because that's my personal project time. And so here we are. We're only going to be working for about an hour, asking for more relative silence for more than an hour. It's probably unrealistic. So this is the best you're going to get, probably. So there we go. I have been super duper tired because the day job is kind of sucking the life out of me. Not for the same reasons that it usually is, but it's just, it takes a lot for me to work for an answer to someone else, which I have noted over the years. Basically, the person I have to become to work for someone else in most of the capacities that I do is disagreeable to my nature, putting it mildly. So here we are. It has been storming since yesterday. Yesterday, before I left work, I got soaked several times because basically I work as a courier, or as I like to not so lovingly put it, taxi. So yeah, it involved me walking outside, and when I first walked outside, it wasn't bad rain. It was like, oh, hey, it's raining. And then right as I was like stepping outside, it just started pouring. And at that point, I didn't really have a choice but to keep going because I had already accepted the trip. It was something they wanted done like quickly, and the easiest thing to do was to just get it over with. Unfortunately, I had 3 more trips I had to do. And they're like, oh, do you want an umbrella? And I'm like, I'm already soaked through. What does it matter? Like, if I'm already, soaked all the way through to the bone, what, like seriously. Also, I'm not like an umbrella type. Like, I make jokes. It's not soapy water. I'm not going to melt. Which has like terrible connotations as an adult if you think about it. Anyway, no dissections of Frank Albom. Pass on that tonight. But yeah, like, I'm not in. It takes like 5 minutes for me to get from one building basically to the other, and that involves me getting all the way out of a building, up the space that I have to go, and all the way into a building. So, I mean, I'm not outside for that long, and I've decided because I'm not outside for that long, it's not really that big a deal. Needless to say, yeah, that was not altogether pleasant. which means yesterday I was supposed to wash my uniform, get it ready for Monday. I absolutely positively 100% did not do that because it was still raining when I got home, and I was like, I am tired of being out in the rain. I do not want to be out in the rain any longer. And I just had a thought. Hold on. I just had a thought. Okay, there we go. I haven't been going through my checklist. I need to make a new checklist. I need to make a checklist that involves me knowing that I need to place my phone on silent and do not disturb before I start recording, so I don't have any weird notifications. Thankfully, I didn't have any pop up. But yeah, here we are. I haven't touched these socks in forever. These have been in my backpack, which I take to work. For at least the last week, and I have not taken them out. Now, I will say there's a little more involved with me working on my socks. Like, I have a timer, which means I'm using my phone, and if I'm quote unquote seen using my phone, I will hear about it. So I'm probably going to take my socks out of my backpack and not bring them with me anymore because I haven't touched them. Like, I think I've been carrying them around all last week and I didn't touch them once. So that doesn't seem really worth it. So, also, I have been doing like a lot of planning. I've been trying to get my planner, the autumn quarter set up before we get there. And as soon as the autumn quarter, as soon as that starts, I'm gonna have to work on getting the winter quarter set up. But I can only do December because I don't have my planner yet. So. Like, I guess I could buy some of the planner stuff, but like right now I am super strapped for cash. So that's not high on the priority list of things I need to do. So here we are. Here we are. Now, for those tuning in at home, probably what's going to happen is I'm going to spend part of this video chatting with you. I might stop chatting and turn the mic off. I don't know. Chatting randomly, idly is not something I have an issue or difficulty doing. Especially when I'm doing something very innocuous like this, where we're at the leg of the sock, so it's just knitting at this point. And I don't even have to really pay attention. I don't have to count the stitches. It's just knit, 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 turn, knit, 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 turn, basically. And because I have been so bad about keeping my schedule, I don't imagine anybody's going to show up. I might have some random comers by. Like, I have been honestly really, really bad about showing up. Mostly what's been happening is my mental health has been trash for a lot of reasons. And so I've been coming home, doing the bare minimum of what I absolutely have to do, which is not everything I should be doing. It's just the things I can't get around doing. And then going to sleep. Like, I'm asleep before 9 o'clock, which is extremely early for me. Like, I tell people I'm not available after 9 o'clock in general. I think I need to start saying 8 o'clock at this point. Because what happens is I get home, and before I was getting home before 6, and then at 7 doing homework, or project time was at 7, which is, I need to look at my schedule and maybe adjust some things. I think I moved everything up to 8, but I'm not sure now that I think about it. But I was doing project time at 7, homework at 8, and homework is just, whatever business development and stuff I needed to do. So if I was working on a class, if I was reading a book, if I was like brainstorming or planning something, doing that kind of stuff. C-level things, if you will. Big picture stuff. That was the time to do it. And then I would go back to work at 9, and then at 10. And then at 11, it was personal time for a while, but then I was like, you have promotions you have to do. You need to get back into that. And I'm like, I do. So I have started scheduling that time, even though I haven't actually completed any of them. Because while I do better if I just jump into things, apparently, work-wise, I can't jump into every single thing at once. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to like make a plan to get back to my non-negotiables like every week. I also think that as soon as I have some scratch, I need to get a new nose ring, because this one seems to have broken finally. Now I think it's done pretty good. And I have a retainer, so if I do take this one out, it's not a big deal. But, yeah. Now, I paid, like, next to nothing for this, so the fact that it's lasted as long as it has, that's pretty good. Okay? Like, for real. So, I can't complain. But I probably should just get a better quality one, period. And there's a piercing shop that I go to, and if you're around here, is the one that I recommend you go to. I actually told wife, I was like, look, this is the one you need to go to. Like, if you're going to get something done, you need to go here. And she was just like, oh yeah, I just like went up to some place around the corner. And I'm like, you can't do that. That's not a good idea. Like, if you just walk into some random place and you don't know how good it is, and you don't know like the quality of what they have, the services they offer, how dedicated and specific people are, like, and just, just because somebody does something doesn't mean they're good at it, okay? Right? Yeah. Speaking on not being good at shit. So I've been listening to the Magnus Archives, which, if you don't know, that is a horror podcast. It's like 3 seasons. I think I'm on the 3rd season now, and I think it's like 200 episodes. And I'm like at 120 or so. 130. I don't know. Almost 130. Anyway, and it is it's awesome, actually. So if you like spooky, disturbing, slow build terror stuff, disturbing concepts, and like maybe a little bit of psychological thrill, I think it's a good fit for that. Like, it's not heavy necessarily on, the gore, like you would see something visual. The storytelling is excellent, and things start to unfold. I don't know what they had planned, like how they, did they storyboard this out? I have no idea. And actually that would kind of find that fascinating to like sit down and talk with them one day. Like how they came up with that, like how it came to be. Did you storyboard it out? Did you just start with an idea and like run with it? Like, I have no idea how other people come up with creative ideas writing wise. But I think it's really good. Um, so anyway, I'm listening to this on YouTube, and of course, ads, right? Now, the funny thing is, I don't get on Facebook personally. Like, I haven't in a really long time. And I actually just today posted something on one of my business pages, like today, um, way before the pandemic. Because I was dealing with other stuff. I had just kind of stepped away from it because I had stuff going on, also known as a divorce I had to deal with. Just like a mess, which is fine. Like, I'm not upset that it happened. All for the best, for a lot of reasons. But that doesn't mean it didn't explode my life. It doesn't mean it was convenient. It doesn't mean that I enjoyed like any of that situation, because I didn't. Anyway, all that said, I stepped away like quite a while ago. And then, the pandemic happened and just kind of exploded the rest of anybody's life. And us introverts were not excluded for that. It just didn't hit us at quite the same rate and quite the same way that it hit other people. So, there's that. Anyway, yeah. I also have had like a bunch of stuff going on and have been trying to like figure out how to do things, manage things, show up, and it's been a lot. So, there we go. But, if you browse the internet, right, because Google, etc., follow you, note what you do, collect data on you, right, you'll get ads. We all know this. Personally, I'm not bothered by this. Friend Scott had like a big issue with it because he's like, I don't like being sold to, and I'm like, I mean, if you have if you have willpower and self-control, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't talk me into buying something that I don't really need and I don't really want. Some people are easily swayed, right? And for me, there's other factors that will cause me to buy that fit in like with my personality and like my habits, that aren't things that are necessarily observable and aren't something you would notice if you didn't know me and I didn't fucking tell you, right? However, because I watch YouTube, listen to YouTube, I will get, random ads here and there. Now, most of the ads that I've seen are for like, I guess fan fiction, like short story things. I've seen some for some comic things, and that's, probably because I've downloaded Webtoon and I've got Tappy Toon. There's another one I have and I can't think of what it's called. One of them I have for this, I think it's Korean Webtoon. It's called Bloody Sweet, I think it was. And the whole reason I have that is because the whole story is there. That's the whole reason I have it. It's the only reason I have it. Yeah. And I can't get it anywhere else. There was a published in English version, like a book, but I came to it, several years late. And so didn't get a chance to get it. If I had known about it when it was out, I absolutely would have bought it because I love that. And I was gushing about it the entire time I was reading it. But yeah, for the most part, that's it. I don't those are most of the ads. Now, every now and then I'll get some weird metaphysical new age, was it Mind Valley? I think it's Mind Valley. He'll try to sell me something that'll pop up in the ads, or Gaia. And neither is of real interest to me. So, you know, I just usually skip all those ads. Well, it just so happened I saw one, and like I said, usually I skip the ads and I skip them immediately. Like, I don't even give it time to tell me what it is. I don't care. I'm listening. I'm here for another reason, and I want to do that thing. So, hold on. I'll be right back. Just making sure there's no, like, issues. Oh my gosh, no. Right over my wallet. Bad news bears. Okay. So, yeah. Well, every now and then I'll watch an ad just to see what it's about. Most of it, like I said, has been like webtoon and comics, which is not a big deal. It's fine. I do a lot of reading, and free books is probably the way to get my attention. Like, you're gonna have the most success doing that, probably. Although, because I've been in this wonderful depressive slump, I haven't even felt like reading lately, which is just glorious. Hooray. Exactly what I want to deal with right now. So anyway, I see this one, and hold please. Sorry about that. I had to check on the wee bit. So anyway, I just so happened to listen to this one, and it was, I've seen a couple of ads for this, and the website's called Domestica. And that would be possibly the next thing that would be successful getting my attention with. And it's because they've got like creative classes. Now, I'm a craftsy person myself, and I have like a ton of craftsy classes that I actually have yet to take. Because I love information and I love learning, so I am 100% down with like learning things. And while I'm not overly fond of online classes as a general rule, I have found a number of instructors that are actually pretty good and were worth, you know, paying to see. Right? So, yay! Now, that said, I have avoided Domestica. I think most of what I've seen them on is Instagram. Because like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. But like Instagram and YouTube and like Facebook last were like the ways that you would even see me. Because at this point, I don't really watch TV. And there's just not like a whole lot to see. All right. So, freaking, it's an illustration class, and I have been wanting to get back into drawing for a while now. I've been wanting to get back into drawing because it's something I did when I was a lot younger. It's something I did when I was in high school and junior high. And as with so many things, college hit and I really didn't have time for anything. And I was doing things like because I had lots of time, and then, you know, you graduate and you suddenly have no time. And for me, I was thrust into like the very end of my high school career. I was working full time and going to school. And then it wasn't long into college that I was doing the same thing, only I was taking a lot more classes. And I just didn't have time for things. The only reason I had time to go to school full time and work full time is because I worked overnight. and it was struggle bus. It was not pleasant. So yeah. Anyway, the drawing is something I've been wanting to get back into. I've also been wanting to resume having a daily art practice. Now, with my project time being every day, right? Every evening I have project time scheduled. I have like a whole hour that I'm supposed to give myself to do this stuff. Theoretically, I have daily art time, which I need to have. One, because art doesn't make itself. And I'm not going to get through these projects if I don't work on them. And two, because I need to create. Like, it's a deep-seated need within me to make things. I think we can argue that I get really unhappy and very upset when I don't. And it starts to take its toll. Well, the thing with the project time is project time, with the exception of the weekends, is for work. It's not personal. It's always, for a deadline. It's hurry up and get this made so that you can get it up on the website so that you can sell it. And for me, what that ends up meaning is there's no like relaxation or like chill involved. Now, a lot of people come to creative pursuits, and because it's a hobby, because it's just something they do for themselves, right? It's a lot more carefree. But if you're a working artist, it really isn't. Like I said, you've got deadlines, you've got standards to, maintain, you've got things to do, you've got a backlog of work possibly. Or a wait list. I'm in the backlog category myself. I would love to have a wait list. But that means, I don't get to just relax and do art. So I wanted to start like a really short daily art practice. So that I could have some creative time to myself. And I thought about doing some art journaling. I figured that would be a good way to do it. I could explore some other mediums. I could do lettering, I could draw, I could sketch, I could maybe do a little watercolor, which I would like to get into. And, it wouldn't because it was art journaling, it wouldn't have to be anything. It could be whatever. And that would take the pressure off. And I could just kind of explore something, right? And that seemed like that would that could be good. Needless to say, I never got around to it. But lettering was something that would be a good avenue. Do not ask me why there was a clove on my desk. Oh, actually, I know exactly why there was a clove on my desk. I have a satchel of herbs in my sock bag, my project bag that somebody made. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah. Lettering, though, was one of the things. So I did get into lettering. Lettering is not something I do for money. It's something I do like adjacent to my work. So like I hand write all of my addresses, for example. Everyone's like, oh, you could just print it. You can just print it. Well, one, I never have printer ink. Okay. Two, it's a personal touch for me to sit there and handwrite things. And I'm not like interested in having this massive empire where me taking the time to handwrite a note to somebody who placed an order and handwrite their address is something that I can't do. Like, I don't want to be so bogged down where I have to take shortcuts on things like that. That's kind of the whole purpose of me, being a small business and being creative. Is being able to do those little things. It's part of my process. It's part of who I am. That's just part of what I do and everything like that. So, important. Anyway, as a result, drawing, though, has been on my radar to get back into. And I've been meaning to. And I've actually got a surprising number of sketchbooks in my home. That, for someone who doesn't draw, that's, kind of significant. And it's not that I don't draw, it's that I don't take the time to draw at this point because I'm doing so many other things. Sometimes freaking sleeping, sometimes reading. Yeah, my little escapist vice is reading. But part of this was brought on because actually one of the gentleman callers with whom I'm speaking is actually an artist. And actually, like, he knows how to find me and probably could easily come across this. For my benefit, we're going to hope not, but we're not going to hold our breath for that. Anyway, one of the first things I did when he told me he made art is I absolutely went in and checked out his stuff. And there's like 2 prints that he's made that I want. And whether we continue talking or not, which is, at this point, remains to be seen. I totally am going to buy each of those prints and, like, find a way to get him to sign them. Like, hey. Like, I might invite the man out for coffee just to get him to sign the prints. So it gets done, right? That's terrible of me, right? That's totally terrible. Like, I don't know. I think if I didn't like your face, but you like, and I don't make anything that you could sign, like, that I would sign, but like, I think even if I didn't like your face, if you asked me to sign something, like, I would. That sounds weird, but I mean, I can hate your face and be professional. Sure. Right? I think so. But, I've been, like, cooking up that plan pretty much since I decided I needed one of each of those prints. Yeah. And here's the thing. The funny thing about this is I don't buy art, like, ever. Like, for real. I'm very particular about what I like. And I don't like most things. Like, I can say something is objectively good and, like, you're skilled. But that doesn't mean that I want one of your pieces in my home. Right? And I have, like, a specific style and a specific, like, type of thing that I'm interested in. And then there's some things that, like, I like it, it's my style, but I'm still not particularly moved to have a specific piece of yours. Like, there's a whole bunch of Paulina Bright's illustrations that I love. None of them scream at me, oh my god, I have to have this. And, like, for me, that's the feeling of I'm gonna buy it. It's gonna be a hell yes. Like, without reservation. And I'm not saying that just, because it's not a hell yes, that I don't like it, that it's not good. I'm not saying that at all. It probably is very good. And like I said, objectively, I can think your work is great and not want it. Just because I'm particular. Right? But his fits well enough into what I like. Yeah, apparently I like color. It's weird. being that I myself, style-wise, am very monochromatic. Although there's definitely a streak in my personality that's super fucking loud. I guess I fight against it because I don't want it to be noticed. Because I like to be more low-key. And there's something about my personality and my personage that just doesn't allow me to do that. And so I'm sitting here fighting it. But because we're speaking, this comes up. Because I'm just like reminded that this is even a thing. And, yeah, so, hooray. And it's funny, like, I observe this with, like, a lot of things, and I don't know, I've never asked anybody about this, or talked to anybody about this, but I don't know, like, if I watch certain things, then I'm like, it piques my interest in something. Like, reminds me of my interest. It's not that the interest wasn't there to begin with. It's just, I want to do all the things, I guess, all the time. Like, I'll watch a movie that's centered around dancing, and I'll remember that I would love to learn how to ballroom dance. And so many other things. So now I have no idea if it's still recording because my computer decided that it was tired of me. And so what's going to end up happening is whatever got recorded is what there is. I love it when my browser like says, screw you, I'm not going to work anymore. I don't know why we're shocked. I really don't. This is irritating. I hate this. But as a result, I'm just like, yes. So I'm reminded of illustrating, and I've found this course on illustrating, and like there's a lot of courses on drawing, and a lot of them have different focuses and whatnot. So focuses or foci? I don't know. Yes. The answer is yes. And I don't like want to, like, I want to learn everything, but I don't want to learn everything. Like, there's certain things I'm not really interested in learning. Like, I'm really interested in figure drawing, but like still lifes, no, I don't care. Sitting here just waiting for this to just do. That's awesome. This is great. I don't know what's going on. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna work probably for another 15-ish minutes. I don't actually know like what the clock said when I was at the halfway point, but I know that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is my project time. So at the point that we hit 9 o'clock, I'm gonna stop and just call it good. And whatever got recorded is whatever got recorded. Which means I may have been talking to myself for like this whole time or half this time. I don't know. I don't know why Firefox hates me so much. I mean, I have an idea as to why, but I don't like it. You know, if I got somebody else in here like, with me, I would also like point to the fact that I'm still recording. Like, I have no idea. But regardless of anything, we need to at least keep on for like another 16 minutes. So I love this for myself. I do. I just don't love this at all, actually. I think I've got a bright idea come 9 o'clock, actually. T-minus 15 minutes. It's a certain sort of irony that I, made my project time come back today on, of all days, of all days. So I probably have got, I think, maybe 1 to 2 rounds left, like entire rounds. I don't know, it might be 3 max. Did I mention how ugly I think these colors are? It looked interesting in the skein, but I was like, I don't know what that's going to translate to in real life. Oh my gosh, so glad I wasn't wearing my handmade socks during this rainstorm that we just went through. I've considered wearing my handmade socks to work. It'll be like a little Sealy Booth rebellion thing. Yeah. Not that they have any like rules about socks, but like I, need to look a certain way otherwise, for the most part. Forearm tattoo notwithstanding. So, yeah, this is super awesome. I don't know what's going on. I can't close my browser because I'm like doing something where I'm scrolling to the end of like infinity. And so I need my browser to be, open and stay open, but oh my gosh. It's kind of killing me that I don't know if I'm still recording or not. I'm gonna sound really silly if I am. The only way for me to know right now would be for me to stop the recording and see, oh, how long is it? If it's like close to 45 minutes long, then I knew that I was still recording. If it's like 30 minutes long, then I knew it stopped. I really wish I had some Pop-Tarts. I need to get some. I keep meaning to and then not. When I go out tomorrow, I might do so. Let's do this. Hold on. Might interrupt my computer's brain. we're starting one at like 48, and then I will be able to tell you, based on how many minutes pass between now and the end of these 2 socks, whether I'll have time, how many I'll have time for approximately. I knew when I opened Twitch it was going to freak out. Like, I knew that. I knew it. I did it anyway. Because I make bad choices like that. I'm like a technological nightmare, though. For real. My devices typically, after dealing with me for like a period of time, start hating me. I understand that I'm asking my computer to do too much at all times. I understand that. But it's a computer. It should just do what I ask it to do. And it should do it better than my brain can. And that's just not reality. Oh dear, good gravy. I might be able to squeeze 2 more run-throughs in. Because it took me like 3 minutes to get through the first half. Oh, I said 2. I mean 1. I mean 1, damn it. That's okay. I'm just going to blame it on the fact that I'm perpetually tired at this point. Just realized I'm a person and I have a body and I'm like moving around. Sometimes I just feel like this weird consciousness that just like is existing without form. And then I become like aware of things around me and it's like, oh, this is weird. Nothing like forgetting you're real or that you're a person. I make jokes that I'm just like traveling interdimensionally, and that's the problem. I'm like having to readjust to reality because I was on a trip somewhere. Like, what? Oh my gosh. So yeah, illustration. We're gonna get to it. What really kind of hooked me into this idea is that there is like a practice that the instructor is suggesting that is like a daily practice of drawing. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Like, that sounds great. That sounds like exactly what I need to do. So that kind of sold me on it. Like, I've been wanting to do that. I haven't necessarily, like, I haven't been talking about it recently. So yeah, friend and I were talking about that, how, like, you know, things sell you things, but like sometimes it's some weird and canny nonsense. Like, you were talking about it, like physically having a conversation about it, and you saw something about it. Like, I can understand if I type something in, or I search something, or even if I like put something in like a recorded message where it could be like looked at and gleaned, but like to like a conversation that you're having, oh, that's weird. That's super weird. All right, so yeah, my computer is still like, I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to do what you ask me to do. So probably what's going to happen is I'm going to finish this round on both socks, and then just we're going to call it good. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Well, according to this, it says it's still playing. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. Ah, don't split the yarn. Don't cross the streams. Somebody asks you if you're a god, Ray. Say yes. This is my girlfriend. She sleeps 6 feet above the covers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened. I'm probably improperly quoting all of that. It's fine. Somewhere out there, a nerd is like cringing. Like, oh my God, they said it wrong. Like, it's okay. You got the gist of what I was saying. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have time for like the rest of this round, and then that's probably pretty much it. I might do one more round to like round it out. Jokes. If I can figure out if it's still recording. If it's not, I'm not gonna bother. If it is, yeah, alright. Because I don't need to work for a straight hour. It's just an hour is a significant enough. It's like this, I don't know. For fiber arts, for textiles, it's enough time for like doing it a couple of times a week for it to look like you did something. Okay. Obviously, if I just take the time to do one complete round, which depending on how big it is, what I'm doing, how complicated it is, whether it's lace or not, absolutely, that will make a difference. It just doesn't feel like it. Do one round. Like, just one. It does feel like you did nothing. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to tell me anything. It keeps trying to load this thing. Like this other thing. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? And this, people, is why I need a laptop. I need a Surface. That's what I need. That's what I need. Yeah, we're going to finish this round, which is going to put us a little over the past the hour of 9. But you don't, one thing you don't do, you don't stop in the middle of project time. Like, you don't stop in the middle of a row or a round if you can help it. So that's the first thing, is I had to add this to a list. I've been making a list in the Domestika like website so that I could just like do this. So I can look at these classes later. Because I don't have time to do more classes right now. Like, I have a bunch I haven't even touched. Like, one of them is drawing fashion flats. I think is what they're called. And I'm totally really excited about that. Because I want to get into designing, and I think that's going to be helpful. Because I'm not, like, skilled particularly at, like, clothing. I'm, like, drawing it out. And I would like to be, and so that'll be a way to do it. I'm probably going to watch a movie with the kidlet here in a second. So, with that said, we're coming down to the last 2 stitches. And I want to thank you for joining me for however long this is, whether you're hearing this or whether it stopped like 30 minutes ago. I appreciate you tuning in, you coming by. I hope you've enjoyed my little idle random fucking chatter as we do here. I should definitely be back tomorrow to work on these. Yes. And we can just look forward to more art and this happening like it's supposed to, right? Yay! So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and enjoy your weekend.